Hey everybody, 50 Plus here. Today I'm going to answer a few questions you guys posted from the last video. So hang in there. Let's get her done. Ubiest of the tubiest. The best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. And I'm 50 plus. So, you guys had some questions after yesterday's video. And so let's kind of go through them real fast here. And then we'll get on to something else. JZ, I wish I was a professional pit bastard. He says, not bad for professional pit bastard. If I could make that much money, now I was going to say if I could make that much money on a pit, then maybe I'd stay home for a while. No, that wouldn't be true. Barbecue Trucker said he got his start date. He's going to start in Corsicana on the 30th. That's going to be a good thing, brother. I'm glad for you. So many of you guys and gals have put off doing this, and I just don't understand, man. I mean, there's always going to be obstacles in our way. The goal is to remove those obstacles so we can get going with life. You can't just sit stagnant waiting for something to happen. And so I'm glad that that barbecue trucker has got a start date. It's going to get her done. It's a good thing. That being said, I'm going to touch on something else real quick. I've mentioned it before, but I'm going to mention it again. I don't do the headset thing anymore because, first off, I'm no longer with Swift. Number two, and it stopped a while back. I put a video out about it. The way that worked was you come aboard. You had to go through Autumn. Autumn will then put you on my list and everything. But Swift pays a bonus to their employees for hiring bonus, just like any other company does, okay? But I was sharing that bonus with you guys via the headset, okay? And then that's how that worked. But they don't do that program anymore. It stopped before I even left Swift. It's been months since they've done that, and I don't send those out anymore because that program doesn't exist anymore. So, all you guys who wanted those headsets, man, should have jumped on it when I kept saying, come on, because that was a promotion from them, and it's gone now. So we don't have that anymore. Plus, I'm not with Swift anymore, and the company that I'm going to now, they don't do new hires, no experience hires, basically. You have to have experience to go there, but we're still going to have some fun, okay? It's going to be a new venture. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. All right, so next, did you pay the school loan off? Okay. When I was with, I got my CDL through Swift Transportation School in Corsicana, just like Barbecue Trucker's going to get. And then when I went through it, it was $3,000. I think it's like $6,000 now. Okay. In fact, the class right after mine was supposed to pay the $6,000, but there was some sort of state regulation they needed to get straight or something. But it was a following class. It was only like a couple classes after that they went forward with that rate increase. And that rate increase, by the way, basically put them meaning Swift Transportation, on target with just about every other mega carrier, because Swift was a lot less than them, okay? So it wasn't that they scooched up and now they're highway robbery. No, that's not really the case. They're just on par with everyone else now, okay? That's just a fact. And by the way, I'll throw it out there yet again. I don't work for Swifty anymore, okay? And by the way, they never, paid me to make videos. So just so you know, I was only giving you guys my perception of what was going on when I worked at Swift, okay? So what I'm telling you is just straight and honest, okay? They took out 70, I think it was $75 a week, I believe. And then you pay that over every pay period over the year to get it paid off. And I'm kind of talking a little slow because I'm trying to pull up my my pay stub so I can tell you guys exactly what I paid each week, because I honestly don't remember. Hold on a minute. But anyways, I did not pay it off right away. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I kind of wanted to show you guys, what it's like to go through that the same way that you guys would. Okay. And here we go. Let me pull it up now. And so you pay the hotel separate from the so they call it lodging, and it's separate from the money that they take out for the school. But since I left, I was and it's odd, I don't know how that they balance this thing, but when I left, I was only a week away, or 2 weeks, about 8 days or so away from one full year. But when I left, they sent me a bill for $340 or something like that. And I paid that off. So the student loan was $75. Tuition reimbursement. So they pay you back, through that sign-on bonus program thing that they have. And so they gave me back $37.50 per pay period. At the end of this video, I'm gonna take a little snippet of that section right there, because what looks kind of weird, it shows on this paycheck, just like I told you guys, it's gonna show $75 per pay period and a total of $2,925, and it also shows them giving me a reimbursement of $1,462, and I paid a total of $648 for lodging. So I'll take a snapshot of that section, put it at the end of the video so you guys can see that, okay? So that was a long for me to answer your question, but I gave you some extra information there, okay? It's pretty cool. Well, and I hope it's gonna help you. But I just paid them off, a couple of weeks ago. I sent them a check. Okay. Tommy says, yeah, you left 50. Yeah, I did leave Swift, and I would have stayed there quite a while, but they started investigating some bull, which they found out was bull, and I could have just let it go and went back. But the way they talked to me, man, the way they treated me was absolutely ridiculous. And even after they knew that it was bull, they still treated me kind of crappy. So, you know, I don't need it, so I left. But still, no hard feelings. I don't have hard feelings against the Swift company, man. I think it's a good place to go, and that any one of you guys want to get yourself started, man, that's a hell of a good place to go. And that's just the bottom line. It is. Okay? So no hard feelings there towards them. Let's see. Mike Brown asked me why I left Swift. I just answered that. I had mentioned yesterday about that company Celadon, wherever it is that closed down, and I'd mentioned that, you know, we don't know what's going on with that situation, nor does it affect us. Okay, you and I, it doesn't affect us. I don't work for them. You don't work for them. And the only way it was going to affect you is if you were hesitating to get into this industry and the jobs that was available is fewer now. You know, so, I mean, companies don't have to hire you if you don't have experience when they can go hire somebody else that does. Okay, so my advice to you is get out there, go, hurry up and quit procrastinating. But I mention that again because barbecue trucker, you know, you understand what I'm saying. So let's see a little bit more. Tony, amen, brother. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Why don't we? I had a very interesting one. Joshua Whitehead, awesome news. He passed his CDL. Boom, brother. I'm glad for you, Joshua. You just got a golden ticket, brother. Golden ticket. You're gonna be surprised what that CDL is gonna do for you. Protect it, okay? Don't let anybody screw you out of it. Protect it. Make sure you have clean DOT inspections. Make sure you're clean drug. Your body's straight. No drug issues, alcohol issues. None of that. Keep your CDL clean, and you got a golden ticket to make you money for the rest of your life. Quentin Parker asked me a very good question, and I am going to wrap the video up talking about that. He asked me, how is the refrigerated division? Do I know anything about it? So the refrigerated division question is what we're going to end this video on, okay? But hold on a minute. I might, Butter Pecan, I'm 53, retired, 2.5 years from a government pension of 20 years. Yes, I got a CDL. I was lucky to find a position dropping GM parts here in Flint, Michigan. Congrats. And, you know, if you can get a local, you know, if you don't necessarily, like this, she has a pension, okay? So she has money coming. I don't need to be OTR anymore. I do need another year of, well, I say I don't need OTR. I'm going to work around as best I can so I can get home more regular. But if you can get a job like that, man, when you don't need to be gone too long, that's the route to take. I'm enjoying that. And I also had Jack, Greuey. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I also had a question about the refrigerated department. Refrigerated versus dry. So I pulled a dry van for the very vast majority of the time that I was with Swift. But when I began to get students, and you know, a student and myself, contrary to popular belief, the vast majority of the time that I was with a student, we drove from Costco, dedicated from Salt Lake to Denver, and then from Denver to Salt Lake. Okay, and it's roughly 500 miles, and we did it in most of the time in one day. Okay, and then the next day we would have to pick up our load and because it was a live unload at Costco. We picked up a loaded trailer from the Costco distribution center in Utah and took it to Denver. And then we would unload that dry at night, and then we had to wait for the place to, have our next load, our back haul available. But by then my student would be out of hours, so I would drive, and so, or we would park and wait until his hours were regenerated, then he would drive back. Okay. So that's how that worked. Okay. But eventually, when my student got his 50 hours, we would run it a little bit different because I could then come available to drive back. And we were way ahead of time every time. Then the truck would sit. So what Swift done was move me to the refrigerated department with a dry back haul. Okay. So what does that mean? I would run refrigerated to Denver and a dry load back to Salt Lake. That's what it would work. And you can put a dry load in a reefer trailer. So how they got away with that, right? Reefer that I've noticed at Costco stores and Walmart stores, not the DCs, but stores, when you drop, they drop early in the mornings. Okay. And I kind of like that because you would drop and then, get another load or whatever and head back or wherever your next load is going to be. OTR might be a little bit different. But the difference between the reefer and the dry loads for me, and this is my experience, OTR guys, because I was dedicated, OTR guys might see things a little different. Okay, but I liked it because I was able to go drop that load off earlier in the morning, pick up another load, and get rolling back in the evening. Plus, I would, by the time I'm unloaded in the morning, my appointment might be 2, 3, 4 a.m. So by the time they're done, it's like 5 or something like that. And I would be heading to a truck stop, and guys would be leaving. You get some parking, and that's cool. I like that. Now on the pay part, I didn't get paid reefer pay because I was coded as a dry guy. Okay, but reefer pays more per mile, but the very vast majority of those loads are either live load on one end or live unload on the other end. You may be picking up a live loaded trailer like I did at Costco every time I picked one up, but it was always a live unload at the other end. Okay. And sometimes I would go take that reefer trailer, pick up a dry load, and I would see reefer guys lined up to get in there, to get loaded and unloaded. And, oh man, that I think would really get to me, okay? Because I'm not used to it. I'm used to dry loads, which is, I had some live loads, live unloads. That's true. But the very vast majority of my my loads with dry was dropping hooks. And that's where you make it, bro. You drop that sucker, go get another one, book it. Pick up your next load, take as far as you can till you exhaust your clock, shut it down. You make that money that way, okay? But it's not quite that way with refrigerated trailers because there's not very many dropping hooks that I've had to deal. I've never dealt with any. I know that there are some dropping hook reefers, but for the most part, they have live on one end or the other. So the difference in those, you might say, well, if refrigerator pays more, I might be able to deal with the live loads and live unloads and why is that a big issue and so on and so forth. Tomorrow I'll make a video on I gotta make my note, but tomorrow I'll make a video on live load and live unload procedures. So it'll be live load versus drop and hook. And so that'll be tomorrow's video. So I will let you know what the differences are. Okay. But although you spend a lot of time with a reefer trailer, getting yourself live loaded, live unloaded, they actually pay you for that time. Okay. So, you get paid for the stops and things like that. So it can be more lucrative in refrigerated. And not only that, with refrigerated, let's say you pull in for Home Depot. I don't suspect right now Home Depot has got a whole lot of freight going on, because I don't believe right now there's a whole lot of people building houses in December, close towards the end. I'm not to sound 50 plus racist. I ain't no damn racist, but I'm pretty sure right about now there's a huge egress south. People going back home for Christmas and New Year's. And those same people who put those construction products to work. Therefore, there's not a whole lot of them. Some, I'm sure. But I can tell you what, I don't care what time of year it is. We all got to eat. And those reefer trailers are going to be pushing hard. So, at the end of the day, man, this is my suggestion to you. I would start with reefer. And the reason I would start with reefer, if you can get a refrigerated mentor. So that way you can learn the reefer side of it, okay? So you'd be really good if you can get a reefer mentor. And watch how it works. You're just got to be paying attention, ask a lot of questions, and see what the real deal is with that reefer, okay? Then go ahead and when you get solo, you can go dry. So now you have some reefer experience because you got that reefer experience when you were your mentor. And you know how to run reefer, the trailer washouts and taking care of the equipment and, all of the unit, the reefer unit you have to deal with, all that stuff. You'll know how to do it because you did it with a mentor. But then take dry when it's time for you to hit the road. Okay. After 3 months of dry, tell me you want to switch to reefer. And then they'll switch you to reefer. It is just like that too, by the way. So if you think that somebody will say, oh no, you can't do that. You're gonna have to stay dry for the rest of your life. That's not true. That's not true. Tell them you want to try reefer. They're gonna switch you over to reefer and you'll already have the experience. You can drive it 3 months. So after 6 months, you will have 3 months experience with dry, 3 months experience with the reefer trailer. And then just determine which one you want, which one you like. Okay. And, that's a good option, man, but you're not going to go wrong with either one. You're going to run more miles and have less work with a dry van. But with a reefer, although that's more involved with pulling a reefer trailer, it pays more per mile. And for those incidents, you get paid for them, all of the stops and things like that, you actually get paid for them. So you can actually do pretty good either way. You know, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in another. What depends on what satisfies you, what you like the most. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. At the end of this video, I'm gonna put a snippet of the. I got a better idea. Okay, I'm gonna do this a little different here. Okay. All right. So this is another point. This is an earlier check. As you can see right here, that's a little bit earlier than the last one that I showed you that had the final check. Okay. So lodging right here, $648. That was for the school hotel. Student loan, $75 per paycheck. I paid $2,925, and in tuition reimbursement they paid $37.50, which totaled $1,462.50. So that was them giving me that money back. So and that isn't my money. That's one that Swift gave back to me for that sign-on bonusy thing. So technically, at this point, I've really only paid $1,500 for the school plus the lodging, and cargo store. When you buy shirts and jackets and all that kind of crap, that's what that is. Advances is lumper fees and stuff like that. They call it an advance, but it's actually not really an advance. I don't know why they do it like that, because I've never gotten a pay advance from them. I never called them and said, hey, I need some money, but that ain't, no. Oh, you know, I know exactly what that is. That number looks really good. That is that for the year, that is them putting that money on my ComData card to pay for the hotel when I was broke down in that Volvo. That's what that $540 is. I know now. Okay, that just rang a bell. The direct deposit, this much at that point, and this much went into on my ComData card. I put money on that ComData card because that's kind of like my on-the-road savings. So that's how much money I actually had on that ComData card when I left. And they did not turn my ComData card off, by the way. It's still on. I know I couldn't go get fuel or anything like that, but I can access all of that money, all of this money right here. In fact, I already accessed it. I took it off, but they didn't shut it off and, you know, treat me like crap. No, they didn't do that. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay, I hope that was a little bit better than me just putting that little snippet up there. Okay, guys, we've been going for a little while now, so I'm going to let you run. Tomorrow, I'm going to put up another one. It's going to be about live loads, live unloads versus dropping hooks, okay? And kind of give you some insight on those and the pros and cons to them both. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till then, deliver undistracted. Here's your boop. Boop.